I'm very well, thank you. We're enjoying a nice sunny weather at Dunster show.
What's your name, sir?
My name's Pete.
Pete, you are sat on what looks like some sort of woodworking lathe.
This is a combination spoon carving mule and
He's adjusting something.
dumb head shaving horse.
Oh, right. What are you adjusting there? You're adjusting a tool on the back.
Just in the pin that holds the head in place.
So you're making spoons out of wood?
Yeah, we're doing spoon carving from our wood that we grow in our coppice in Brompton Regis at the Riverside Project. And this is alder, so we carve the spoon from green wood. We let it dry and then we finish carving it in a few weeks' time afterwards, and then you end up with a completed spoon.
Isn't that quite a tough wood?
No, it's quite soft to work with being green, so that's why we use it. Alder's quite a good wood for using, so when we do our spoon carving courses with the students, it's an easier wood to carve than something like an ash or a beech.
Oh, I see. How's your spoon coming on? Let's try and describe the spoon.
Slowly at the moment, because I keep talking to people.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. At the moment, we've just about got a spoon shape. We're out of the billet. We've got the bowl of the spoon carved. We've got some sort of semblance to the back of the spoon and the shape of the handle with a chunky handle. So we've still got a little bit of shaving to do using the tools that we've got.
So what's your official term then, Pete? Are you a wood carver?
I'm called a bodger, or to some people that see the advert on the telly, an off-grid spoon whittler.
But it's an interesting thing. You've got a selection of hand tools. Are you using all these today, or these for show?
All of them. No, we start off with our froe, which we use for splitting the
froe?
A froe, so that's spelled F-R-O-E.
All right.
And that's what we use for splitting the round of the log in to get our spoon billet. We then use our axe once we've got a billet to rough out the shape of the spoon, and then once we've got our rough shape of the spoon, we start to use our smaller hand tools, the sloyd knife and the spoon carving knives, to rough out the shape of the spoon.
Yeah, what do you use to gouge out the spoon bit?
We use either a hook knife, which is a small spoon knife, which we've got over there, or we use...
Lord, what's that? It's something that Captain Hook would have.
We've got a twocker cam, which we use for making the spoon, so that makes it easier to carve the whole spoon in one go, so we get a nice smooth finish on the inside of the spoon.
So it's almost like a knife that's been bent in a U shape, and you can just shave on the inside.
Yeah, so it's a big hook knife.
It looks like Captain Hook hand, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And the key to that working properly is the back edge of the bevel of the knife. If it's set wrong, the knife won't cut through and do the complete cut through across the bowl and out the other side. It will chatter and it will leave an uneven mark in the spoon when it's finished.
I see.
So that's how we get these nice looking spoons on the table at the end of the day.
Well, behind me are some lovely varnished wooden things. Have you made these? Are these things that have been made?
Everything we make, we use to fund the project.
Well, can we have a quick look and talk about the project? Is that all right?
Yeah.
I've realised now Pete's got to get off of this giant wooden lathe thing that he's sat on, which is it's like a wooden horse, doesn't it?
It does. It's fascinating.
So what have we got here then? Show me some things that you've been making.
We've got English walnut chopping boards, egg and soldier boards, chef's boards with holes cut out for putting your eggs in, so you don't put the egg on the top when it rolls off and smashes and the dog gets it.
Good plan, good plan.
We've got chilli chopping boards for your chillies, so it doesn't get on your other chopping board.
In a chilli shape, so we know.
And we've got some cooks of wooden cups, like the Scandinavian style.
Are
made out of wood.
Are they made with your hook, like you've just been showing us?
Yeah, we've got sort of bread bowls, incense burners, wooden jewellery.
Yeah.
We've got woolen tumble dryer balls from our rare breed Jacob sheep wool that we grow.
Can I pick one of them up?
Yeah.
Right, I have a ball of hefty wool. That smells nice.
Yeah, so that's our Jacob sheep wool. So we're trying to find new uses for the wool, being as wool doesn't seem to have much for use in this day and age. Nobody wants to buy wool anymore, do they? So it's all...
Well, I suppose those who sort of buy it on the internet and what have you.
Yeah,
Nobody has the homespun stuff. How long have you been doing this, then, Pete?
I've been doing timber and wood best part of my working life.
Yeah.
So we started off doing arboriculture. We changed from that because we got sick and tired of chopping up timber for firewood and wood chips and wanted to make something different from it and a usable commodity. So that's why, with what we've got from tables to spoons to boards to chairs, we can use all the wood we get from the timber that we harvest. So now with our woodland site on Exmoor, we now grow our coppice timber to fund the products that we make to fund the project. So through the project we're looking to showcase traditional countryside skills and rural crafts, educate people about what the countryside's about with traditional hedge laying, what benefits it has to the countryside with regard to flora, fauna and wildlife, bird habitat, insects, butterflies. And by managing the woodland we're now opening up corridors, sunlight pockets within the woodland, so it allows the wildflowers to grow, which encourages the butterflies, and then we get more timber coming on in that. So every time we coppice a store, whether it be Hausen or Alder, from the one stem we take out, we're going to get 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 stems coming from that one stem. So we're continually regrowing our product.
I meant to ask you, what is the name of the project and how can we find out more?
The project is called the Riverside Project. You can find it at theriversideproject.org on the internet. You can see us on the Facebook. If you go to the Riverside Project on Exmoor, it comes up with a little logo of 2 little green conifer trees and a little blue river. Looks like our 3-year-old draw it,
but it's an official logo.
It's our logo. So at the site, it's about a 3.5 acre site roughly. We've got river pasture land, which is where the sheep are. So we manage the River Pullum through our stretch of the river. So we've done river management to stem the flow of the river with riverbank erosion. We collect plastic that's in the bucket down there that flows down the river from people that we find discarded that ends up in the watercourse. We've also now got our Woodland Workshop shelter, which was kindly donated by 2 friends of mine, which are sadly both deceased. And we've got our tree bog toilet, which is...
Tree bog toilet?
Tree bog toilet.
Is that basically how, as it sounds?
It's a treehouse toilet.
Thought so.
It's not a composting toilet because you don't need to empty it. The willow trees that are planted around it, and the tree bog is sited in a willow tree, they're a nitrogen fixing plant, so they feed off and digest the nutrients that we provide through the toilet. We separate out the solids from the wets using charcoal and filters, and so when it all absorbs into the ground, the worms break the solids and the paper down, the trees then absorb that and grow. Through the charcoal filter goes the wet side of it, and that in theory neutralises most of the chemical impurities in it, and it waters the trees, so again helping them grow.
Can I just say, very, very delicately described then.
Yes.
You could have said that in a completely different way, but that was very professionally done. I take my hat off to you.
We're before the 9 o'clock shed, otherwise we could go for the blue and the red version.
Yeah, well, let's try not to, being that it's only just gone 2 o'clock. Before I let you go, Pete, 'cause I know you've got a lot of things to whittle and carve. What's the hardest thing you've ever had to make out of a lump of wood? What are we thinking now?
I think it was to carve a Volkswagen camper van.
You're joking?
No.
Please don't tell me full size.
No, thank God for that, because I won't find a tree big enough. No, it was for a well-known manufacturer in Minehead to see whether we could do a small model to them to give away with their camper van conversions, but sadly the time involved wasn't financially viable to do it, and I'm not a CNC machine.
No, that's it.
So unlike that, it's man-made and handcrafted.
You've got to sort of stand off every corner and every curve.
I'm not programmable.
Well, Pete, thanks for chatting to us. A great pleasure. Wonderful things you're making. I better let you get back onto your horse and whittle some spoons.
Whittling. Thank you very much for coming to see us today, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the show.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Pete. Pete there from the Riverside Project. Come down and see him. He's in the main Exmoor marquee. Just don't ask him too much about his tree bog, because you'll get all the details. We're going to wander about a bit more for the second part of the road trip, so we're going to go